Hello, Raider Nation. Welcome to Blue Nation Network. This is the Week 1 edition of Coach's Corner. And joining with me here is my partner in crime, Chad Weaver, and of course, Woodville Raider head coach Bill Morrison. We'll be getting Bill's thoughts on the upcoming season and get a little information on what to expect here Friday night as the Keystone Panthers visit the Wigwam for this year's home opener. Bill, going into season 2 here. What kind of things have you learned from last year to this year that maybe you implemented that maybe to make your life a little bit easier, make things a little bit smoother?
Well, one thing I learned was a famous quote by Bill Belichick that says, "We're on to Cincinnati."
Right.
Because when people ask me about last year, I say we're on to 2025. So,
Right.
But big thing was I think I'm able to delegate more this year. Realize that there's a lot that other people can handle that I don't need to handle. So I'm trying to get better at that. It can be controlling at times, but and those guys have done a great job. The coaches are stepping up and doing just that. And just in-game stuff and taking stuff week to week. Like that was a problem too, was I wasn't focusing on a single. I don't even know who we play week 2 this year. It's Keystone. So it's one of those things that it's when you hear the cliche of it's a week 3 game, it truly is. And if you do any kind of thinking ahead or anything like that, you're putting the team in a bad situation.
Coach, everyone knows that is involved in sports that this isn't a 4-month season, right? You're at it for 10 or 11. I want you to kind of elaborate a little bit on, one, I know your lifting program was pretty well attended. You guys got a huge facelift on the weight room. I think it's paying dividends. Talk a little bit about kind of what you had this summer, not only on 7 and 7s, but some of your additional workouts.
Yeah, I mean, we did. That was another thing. I used to do a lot with the weight room programming. I was there every day, which I was still there 99% of the time this year. But the big thing was we brought in a strength and conditioning coach, Mike Coons, and he came in and did a great job. He does all the programming, runs kids through all the lifts. He does all of our speed workouts, which is something that I don't have much of a background in. And Mike has a great background in that. So Mike came in, and he's a guy that commands a room, and the kids respect him. So Mike was a big piece for our summer, and the kids really gravitated towards him a lot. So that was great to get the weight room rolling, and our attendance for it was great. The work ethic in there was great, and it showed by our numbers from the start of the season to the end of the season, and including our speed workout. We got faster, I can guarantee you that. But as far as 7 on 7 goes, it's the normal kind of, one week it's great, the other week it's tough. Kids going on vacation, they got baseball, we had Hayden Free was doing something with track for pretty much the whole month of June. So it's a lot of stuff that you just got to work through, but it's a great opportunity for younger guys to step up and get their chance to really get reps and see where they stand on this team. So all in all, the summer went well. I was happy where we were. We were able to hit the ground running, start of heat activation. But still a lot of stuff to work out as the season progresses.
Speaking of weight training, speed, all that kind of good stuff, health-wise, how's everything looking going into the season? I know you're getting a couple big weapons back on the outside, Freeman and Krug, who have, as we all know, have speed to burn on the outside. Any major injuries you're going to be missing for a while, or is everybody pretty healthy? I mean, we've talked about this in the past, where at this level, depth is huge. If you move one guy, you got to move 7 others to make it work. So it's
there's one big spot that's missing for us. Connor Ansinger won't be playing this Friday. He has an issue with his foot, but he's on the mend right now, and we plan on having him back. Not sure the exact timetable, but he'll be back this season. And when he does, it's one of those things I like to spin into a positive in the sense of J.R. Rahala stepped up to that position, and while J.R. is an undersized young man, he has fight in him, and we knew that for 2 years, but we didn't know the extent of it. And J.R. is a kid that's out there fighting every time, to the extent of when Connor is back, we've got to find a place to keep J.R. on the field because of just that, So, and then obviously when Connor does come back, that'll give us a big boost on the O&D line. But as far as that's about the only significant one or anything that's a longer timetable. But getting those guys back, obviously you brought up Hayden and Sammy. Blake Porter's back now with an extra year after ACL his ninth grade year. So all in all, minus Connor, we're in health-wise pretty good shape as of right now.
Sure. And just to touch on that offensive line a little bit, I know I was out here Saturday and me and Shaq were watching the scrimmage and stuff, and we were talking about that offensive line. And to me, you have some talent on that offensive line. Rahala and Balzer and those guys, so it should be a pretty bright spot in the line.
Yeah, Coach Smith does a good job with them, and he takes a lot of pride in the O-line. Josiah Balzer has been a bright spot. He was out for a little bit, missed the scrimmage, but he's back now. But Josiah, when he was practicing, was having a great summer. Really being a leader, too, which was kind of a new kind of position for Josiah. And Aaron Turner, we moved down there, and Aaron's going to be undersized weight-wise, but height-wise, he's perfectly there. But Aaron's flipped the switch this year, and he's kind of found what makes him tick, and he's kind of flying around, whether it's on the O-line or a linebacker. And that's another one that he's been a real bright spot for us. We asked him to go to O-line, he said no problem. So Aaron, and then we did the same with Zach Phillips. He'll be bouncing around a little bit. But all in all, Easton Rocks has been solid, and I already mentioned JR. And Bobby Hack has taken strides, which is exciting because Bobby's a big boy. And that there's a lot of potential in him in all the sports he does. He's a three-sport athlete. But now I think Bobby's maturing, and he's taking it a lot more serious and taking more reps and everything like that you could see it on the field. So I'm excited to see these guys and get rolling with that group, and then when we get Connor back, hopefully it's just a sharp one.
Bobby Hack is he suffered an injury there and watched him struggle because of his size in elementary wrestling men because he had no other choice, and he fought through that discouragement and is continuing. So he's easy kid to root for. The old cliche goes, never bring a knife to a gunfight. And unfortunately, we're not the only ones in the boat of numbers dwindling, right? Sure. We see co-ops all around, and you're trying to find parity. Obviously, Brookville has moved a couple sports into the KSAC because of that very point. Some discouraging news. The Lumberjacks program, no senior team this year. Your junior high program, I think they've rostered 17, 16. I just got word from AD Osborne we're not going to have a JV game on Monday. Now that could have differing reasons behind that from maybe both schools. Speak a little bit about what you expect or expected to get out of the co-op with Abraxas.
The big thing was we needed more guys to make sure we played Monday nights for JV. We played one JV game last year. And we are on that road. We were supposed to play Union. They actually play on Thursday next week, so they wanted to play on Saturday. That couldn't work for us. So missing this one doesn't feel like it did last year when it felt like, oh man, this is going to be a weekly thing. Doesn't feel like that now. And that was the big thing with getting the Abraxas kids was we needed more guys for practice. We needed more guys for Monday nights because guys like Bobby Hack that we brought up missed a lot of valuable reps on Monday nights that he could have got better at. And now with those guys, they give us the numbers that we can go ahead and make sure we're playing on Monday nights. And hopefully, as the season progresses, we can sprinkle them in on Friday nights too, whether it's some special teams or steal a series here and there on offense or defense from them. But all in all, it's gone real well as far as the meshing together. And again, that goes back to that was done before we even started that division. That was done great. Our guys did a great job of welcoming them. Abraxas guys did a great job of being willing to learn from those guys and everything. And they're very respectful young men that all of them that have been here so far.
Now, touching on the defensive side of the ball, I noticed on Saturday that Dante Morey got moved from the outside into the inside linebacker position. Of course, we've already talked about Freeman and Krug. They're going to, of course, spend some time on the outside. That secondary, to me, looked really talented. And moving Dante down into the linebacker position, because we all know what the Hazen Assassin can do as far as making plays on defense. And you mentioned Blake Porter coming back. The defense looks like it could be set to have a pretty decent year if they look good in practice so far.
Yeah, I mean, Shane Heskey took over as our defensive coordinator this year, and Shane's done a good job as far as he's prepared, he's ready to go. He's a good teacher. His background's in the defensive backfield, which I've always found a value of finding an a defensive coordinator that has more of a DB background than, say, per se, a D-line or a linebacker. So it all starts there with Shane, and Adam Hepler came on board. He's helped out with linebackers, done well, and Coach Rush with the D-line. But all in all, as far as that goes, we had a lot of athletes, which is a great thing.
Sure.
But we didn't have all of the big bodies that we needed. So guys like Dante, like Aaron Turner, moved from the secondary up to the linebacker core. Blake Porter's going to see time in the linebacker core because not that we have a whole plethora of them, but in the back end we do have athletes that we trusted, and to the point where, take a guy like Sammy that's coming back now. After Sammy's sophomore year, I would have been comfortable saying Sam's the best cover guy in history.
Sure.
So it's not just the athletic ability, it's the talent too. And those guys do have a good work ethic and are in it for the right reasons.
Right. And I also noticed on Saturday, we had Nimmo was at the nose. And you guys have, over the last 5, 6, 7 years, and going back to my son Cole played the nose. And then Owen last year, and Nimmo, you guys, you like a smaller athletic guy in that nose to...
Yeah, I mean, if you can get... Clearly Chase isn't going to play offensive line. So, but whenever you get a young man that's tough and fearless, it's a good spot. And he's quick. Chase is pretty fast, and he can shoot a gap. That helps out a lot for their O-line. We can give guys breaks more often. So for Bobby Hack, he can get that break. Or Josiah Balzer. And Chase has done a great job there. And then Zach Phillips as well. He bounces around between interior and DN. And he's been a bright spot here over these last couple of weeks. And then, like I said, Easton Roch will be right there at the end, and so will J.A. Rahala, who, again, is more of like a Tasmanian devil out there. Like, he might be small, but he's coming at you. So.
You having some scrappy guys on your roster just doesn't seem like that. So the rules for this game typically start on Sunday, then Saturdays the colleges look at it, and they kind of bring some in, and then it slowly but surely makes its way to Friday nights at the high school level. NFHS kicks things around, and the PIAA finally decides whether they want to adopt those said rules or not. Some new technology available to you now this year. How do you plan on utilizing it? Was there a budget for it? Do you have people assigned to run it? How are you going to use it?
Yes, and yes. We got one thing we're excited about is we got a whole new reporting system for both our end zone and our sideline cameras, and we have a specific coach that's actually 2 coaches pregame, set everything up, tear down everything postgame, and they have an iPad with them every time, uploading every single play so that anytime any coach needs it, we've got it at our fingertips, and that's whether it's an end zone view or a sideline view. So that's one of those things that will help with in-game adjustments, especially between. It should help a lot. And at halftime, the thing is, with us and with everybody in the area, a lot of your guys are playing both ways, so you really don't get that opportunity like it is in college. Come to the bench, sit down, kick back, have a Gatorade. You got 5 minutes to regroup and everything. So we just got to find those right times that we are able to do that kind of stuff. But I think it'll be helpful for us. It's something that we'll try to get the flow of on Friday.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking some time out talking with us. And we're looking forward to Friday night and taking it to Keystone here at the New Law.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you, Billy. Appreciate it.
Good luck, Coach. Appreciate it.
For Blue Nation Network, this is Rob LeBenny. For Chad Weaver and Bill Morrison, we'll see you Friday night. We'll be on the air about 6:40 Friday night with some pregame and kickoffs at 7. So join us then. Thank you.